Hello, welcome if you're new, welcome back if you are not. We are back this week for the second part of our garden renovation. We spent all of last week finding patio, finding labour, painting fences, digging, a lot of digging, and basically getting ourselves to a pretty good spot in terms of the garden. I'll link the video up here if you wanted to watch that first, but now we're on to what I consider to be the more exciting parts. We need to start thinking about garden furniture, storage in the garden, what we eventually want it to look like, and we've made some pretty good progress, if I do say so myself. You know how much we love a Facebook Marketplace find, and I think we might have found our best one yet. If you've been living under a rock, everything is way more expensive right now, particularly things like building materials and wood. And what that's meant is that even sheds have gone up. We were looking at sheds and they were coming out to about £700, which I think is absolutely insane. So we were just searching on Facebook Marketplace and we found about 20 minutes from us someone who was giving away an amazing shed for free. However, there was a catch. You would have to go there, disassemble it, put it into the van, bring it back. Now obviously that's a little bit of hard work for a free shed, which would be fine. I actually didn't go. I had something else on that I needed to do. So Tom went. But I think we can just basically summarize the whole experience with spiders. The shed was nestled in the back of a garden. There was loads of foliage, is it called? Basically just trees and stuff. And yeah, a lot of giant spiders had decided to call that home. So it wasn't the most fun experience, Tom has relayed to me, but he did manage to get a completely free shed. We've given it a good clean, and it's time that it can move into our garden. So we're going to be putting the shed in this back corner of the garden, mainly because then this can be a little seating area, which as the sun goes over during the day means we'll get some daytime sunshine in there. And then also just because of how our neighbour's fence has been installed. Obviously with the patio, we didn't raise it, and we can't fix that. As you can see, the builders didn't even cement the bottoms in. So we're just basically trying to cover all of that up for a little bit of a cleaner finish. So we thought, have it in this back corner here. Doesn't block the sunlight in the morning, so this still gets sun, and yeah, helps cover that up at the same time, which is good. So just stepping back, you can start to see it come together. Shed's gonna go there, and then actually a much bigger patio kind of eating area than I thought.
So as Autumn's already mentioned, we got an absolute steal on Facebook Marketplace with the shed, but obviously when assembling it, I did break a few of the roof panels, so tonight's job is to replace them. What I did was I went to B&Q, got some new cladding, tongue and groove, just gonna cut it to size, slot it in, and we can make it watertight tonight.
It is 7:30 on a Tuesday evening. The clocks have gone back, and what that means is that we've got an additional couple of hours of sunlight every single evening. The evenings feel longer. We are managing to get work done after work, or rather housework done after work. So it's basically all upwards from here. While it's still light, we're going to head to Greenwich. We've got a few bits that we need to pick up for a very exciting project, and then we are heading to somebody's house because they have a bunch of garden furniture in their back garden that I've had my eye on, and they are selling it. So as soon as I saw it, I messaged, it is available, we're going to get it tonight, and I'm very, very excited. Got my chauffeur.
Yes, Thomas here. I think going back to the point about it being lighter now, I have so much more energy in the evenings. I think it's just like a mental thing.
It's so true.
You just want to be like cozy in bed. But as soon as it's light, I'm like, no, I want to get on with stuff.
Tom and I are summer people through and through. We like lose our personalities over winter and then we come alive again. And I've got to turn this off because Tom's driving is so all over the place, isn't it, Tom?
It's the speed bumps. The speed bumps are there for safety.
It's outdoor furniture. It's very late. We're back home with the goods. We didn't film when we got to the person's house to pick up the stuff because it was just awkward to ask. And they were helping us carrying it to the car, so I didn't want to get out my phone. It is Easter weekend and we're going to be spending the next 4 days doing as much as humanly possible with our time off on the house, obviously. It's quite interesting reflecting upon Easter weekend last year. We used the bank holidays plus some days off work to have 10 days of renovation, and we were doing the insulation for the loft, we were painting the outside of the house, we were doing work on the chimneys. And it's quite interesting when you kind of look at those two timestamps, because even though it feels like you're doing everything super slowly, so much has been done, which is cool. So the game plan over the next 4 days, I will be working on the garden in beautiful 20-degree weather. The plan is to finish all of the garden posts, finish painting those, paint the shed, start clearing a lot of the building materials that are just taking up space into the shed to create a little bit of a cleaner area. We need to pick grass. We've been thinking between real grass and artificial grass. It's been a very hot debate in the house, but I'll catch you up on that later. So in terms of the garden, we've got these two panels that need painting, and then the shed, and then this one panel. These panels need a touch up. I don't know if you can see, we've not done like the finishing bits like we have with all of the other ones. And then, I don't know if you can see up there, the bit that we got too lazy to paint, we did that panel and then we didn't do those. We were convinced that the shed would cover it. We were wrong. So somehow I need to climb and paint that too. We're also not sure if we should just paint all of these as well. The bits at the bottom and the side, the posts rather, paint those black to make it more seamless. I don't know, I think I like the separation, but I have seen a bunch of pictures where they've painted the whole thing and that looks kind of cool too, but I don't want to almost box the garden in, if that makes sense. Let me know what you think. Okay, so on to the next panel, and we have pure innovation. I'm using the door for the shed to protect the patio. And considering the door for the shed, whoops, is going to go black as well, anything that drops off of here onto here, I'm basically just doing my job for me. Five hours of painting later, all of the fence panels are done, and no time to rest because we move straight onto the shed. Okay, game plan for the shed. I've removed the cushions that were here. We've actually just put a big piece of insulation down here, which is going to protect the patio, and I'm gonna get cracking. Obviously the width of the insulation means we're not actually gonna get to the very bottom, but that's when I'll just tape it down and be super careful. But I just wanted a good amount of coverage for when I'm doing this bit, because obviously we'll be flicking brushes and that sort of stuff. So I wanted to be as safe as possible. So we're just on our way to LT Carpets. That's where we bought our carpet, believe it or not. But they also do fake grass. Now, I said I would talk you through our thoughts around real versus fake, and it has really been a big debate. Tom and I were both adamant on real grass for a really long time. And now, as the renovation's gone on, I think we realize as soon as this house is done, our goal is to spend as much time outside of it as possible. And by that, I mean, you know, getting back to holidays, which we couldn't go on for a couple of years, and being out and about, seeing our friends. Also thinking longer term, as I've mentioned a couple of times, you know, a couple of years from now, we might think about renting out the house for a bit while we go travel, while we go see the world. So everything is pointing to us minimizing the amount of work that is needed on the garden. And on top of that, it's a small London garden. So the patch of grass we're going to have is very, very small. And the amount of storage space we have is very, very small. So we would need a lawnmower, which takes up a lot of room. Just everything pointed to not having the grass. And yeah, it just would have been a lot of work and a lot of storage space for one tiny patch of grass. So we've decided to go fake. I know some people are very against it, so please don't come at me. It's been a very tough decision to make. But yeah, it's just what's right for us. We got some samples from Grass Direct. It's online. This is what it looked like. We were super happy with them, thinking about buying it. And then when we went to check out, it could only be delivered by the end of May. They didn't have stock. Well, they did have stock in a 2-meter width, but not the 4-meter width. And we don't want a seam running where the grass meets. We want one big piece of grass. So we just thought, when we're in Billericay seeing Tom's parents, let's just pop by LT Carpets, where we bought our carpets, take a look at their grass, and lo and behold, they came through again. It was cheaper than online. They're cutting it and it's being delivered today. And this was Ibiza, the grass we really liked from Grass Direct. And we found a very, very similar one in there. Less price, no delivery fee. That is what we've gone with. We spent a lot of time walking around, taking a look, looking at the different versions. It was £16.49 per square meter, which we've not looked around that much, to be honest. It's going to be 250 quid to do the whole garden. No maintenance, no lawnmower required. Happy with that. Today's job is to give the garden and inside of the house a good clean. I know that we do this all the time, but when the patio was being done, everything just became chaos again. And now that we've got the shed up and painted and good to go, we're gonna make good use of it. While the patio was getting laid, as part of the job, the guys removed the old soil pipe, which was cast iron. So there is a scrap metal yard open today until 12:30. And to clean the garden, we need to get a whole bunch of rubble bags. So that's what we're doing now. We've got this super long one and these 3 little ones. I don't know if you can even see me with the sun, but yeah, they are bloody heavy. So I'm interested to see what we'll get for them. Okay, so we're back. They were super shady about us filming in there, but we got paid £22. Considering the guys who lay our patio charged us £20 to take it down, that was a free job, which doesn't happen often. But now back to the chaos that is the back garden. It was actually looking a lot worse than this a couple of hours ago, which is great. What we're trying to do is clear all of this space so we can start thinking about some planters going down there and the grass that's going to go over there. There were loads and loads of bags of, is it MOT and sharp sand?
Yeah. Nice,
I'm learning. Over here.
Which one's MOT and which one's sharp
sand? Oh, there was a ladybird on you.
Was there?
Okay. That's sharp sand, that's MOT.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
What do you use it for?
MOT you flatten to create a sub base.
Yeah.
And sharp sand you mix with water and cement. It is the cement to create cement. And that is how you stick down the things. See, you think I don't know, but I know. Anyway.
Ooh, okay. Next question. What do you use?
Look at Tom trying to prove his manliness by wanting to know more about building than me.
No, I'm proud. I'm glad you're like learning.
That's so patronizing.
Okay, not that then.
Okay, what's the question?
Okay, what do you use building sand for?
Building sand is a more fine sand, and it's used also to create cement, but for bricks.
Yes. Smashed it.
So, Tom thinks I don't know, but I know.
I do know.
I always know.
I believe in you.
Now that we're done with this
quiz, DIY building quiz.
Patriarchy. There was a bunch of stuff here, but Tom has basically emptied all of it into these bags. So yeah, they are on our nice new patio, but The guys are back next week to do this final section. So we're just gonna move all the stuff that they need over here. This will be able to be clear and we can get our garden furniture here for a little seated area in the sun. And then all of this will be clear so we can start digging this up and getting the final bits ready for the garden. So yeah, even more tidying. We're very bored of it by now, but when the sun is out on a day like today, you don't take it for granted that your jobs just so happen to be outdoors. So the next bit's a bit more tough. We're going to be laying grass all down here, and then we're going to have some beds over there, but basically all of this area is going to be grass. But you can't really pick it up on camera. There's quite a bit of difference in level. Now for the grass to be laid, it needs to be similar to what the level was back here. So basically this bit here is where we want to be for all of the garden, and as you can see, we're quite a bit above for a lot of this. So now we spend the next couple of hours getting all of this soil into the van. We don't know whether we're going to need another skip or not. At the moment we're thinking we probably will, but we're setting up one of those big sacks in there and at least just getting it down now so we can get an idea of volume, and if we need a skip we'll get it next week, and then we'll just empty all of that into the skip as soon as it comes. Okay, so we've got to a relatively good place in the garden. We basically stopped digging because we realized we're definitely going to need another skip. So there was basically no point in filling up a big bag in the back of the van that we would then just have to dig out anyway to get into a skip. It didn't make sense. And also we've got a dinner with friends planned pretty soon, so we had to stop anyway. So that is it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed watching the garden come together a little bit more. I'm feeling confident that we can wrap this up over the next week or so. So if you are keen to watch the garden get finished, please do hit the subscribe button. We upload videos every single Wednesday. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and I will catch you next Wednesday. Goodbye.